The Illinois Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund must by law have cash reserves of $1 billion, and currently because of the COVID unemployment claims, some of which were valid, some of which were fraudulent. The governor won't tell us how much in each category, and you don't know. We're $4.5 billion in the hole, not including that $1 billion mandatory reserve. So Leader Harris, that means we need to put $5.5 billion into the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund to be out of federal debt and fully compliant with our statutory reserve requirement. True?
I will take your word for it.
Right. Well, let's go through some of the history. To handle the unexpected $4.5 billion COVID loss, the federal government lent us $4.5 billion, right?
What were you saying? I'm sorry?
The federal government lent us $4.5 billion to handle the unexpected $4.5 billion COVID loss, right?
I think that number's right, yeah.
All right, and the feds even waived the interest on that $4.5 billion as long as we paid it off by September 30th, 2021, right?
I assume you're right.
All right, well, but typical for Illinois, we didn't pay it back on time, so instead we've accrued $41.5 million in new interest payments so far, and this is going to accrue to $81 million if we don't pay this off by September 30th, 2022. Is that fair?
Say that again?
All right, you don't know. I'll keep going. The federal government gave Illinois about $11.5 to $12 billion in various COVID-19 relief funds under the ARPA and CARES program. So now in 2021, I believe Governor Pritzker at one point falsely claimed that we couldn't use any of that $8.1 billion in ARPA funds to pay down our unemployment debt. But in reality, one of the things that Congress said we could do with their COVID relief funds was to pay off our federal debt for the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. And Leader Harris, other states have done that very thing for that very purpose, right?
I think you're correct, yeah.
All right, so to the bill. Governor Pritzker has already spent or promised most of Illinois' $12 billion in COVID relief funds for other things. He says there's only $3.2 billion remaining. That actually isn't true. As of today, there is $6.9 billion listed as being in the state's Cure Fund, and that's where the ARPA funds were received. We've seen Governor Pritzker on our TVs and our phones and our computers telling us how fiscally responsible he thinks he is. But he knew back in July of 2021 that he could use these ARPA funds to pay this debt off. So Representative Zaleski, you want the funds that are deposited from the ARPA funds, you want those paid off tonight? Great, it's not hard. Make the number $4.5 billion. Even better, make the number $5.5 billion so we can build our cash reserves back up. We have that amount in hand in ARPA funds. So when you have $6.9 billion in ARPA funds in hand, you can use those funds to pay that kind of debt, and you have an unemployment insurance trust fund with a $5.5 billion hole, the $4.5 billion in debt, and the $1 billion we need to build back up to help anybody who's going to lose their job going forward. We should not be squandering this opportunity. This was an entirely predictable problem. It has a very straightforward solution. Pull back the pork, pay off the debt with the existing ARPA funds. Now, what is Governor Pritzker and the majority party's plan here tonight? They'll pay off some of it. So the $4.5 billion in debt becomes $1.8 billion in debt under this current amendment. But we still need to pay that $1.8 billion in debt, and we still need to build up the $1 billion in cash reserves. Where's that money going to come from then? Is there some magical new idea from the majority party on how they're going to do this? No. It's not fiscal responsibility. We're still $2.8 billion away from where we need to be at rudimentary solvency and legal compliance. So how is the majority party planning on filling the hole? With this bill, we don't. But this is what the Illinois Democrats are going to do to you. And the reason why they want to do this tonight and have to get it done tonight is because they want to cut your benefits. So we're going to keep billions in debt, cut benefits, and raise taxes. More failure. It is time for a change. We can do better. Vote no.